The inner child within an elder is not just a hidden aspect, but a vibrant, living part of their being. Elders are not defined by their biological age. Instead, they embody a unique blend of ancient wisdom and youthful energy. This combination gives them a presence that can be both deeply mysterious and, at times, even grave, while also being lighthearted, playful, and full of curiosity. They are the ones who can navigate the deepest waters of human experience and still find joy in coloring outside the lines, seeing life not just as a series of duties, but as a playground of possibilities. Elders carry the essence of the fool and the hermit, two archetypes from the tarot that might seem contradictory, but are in fact complementary. The fool represents the beginning of a journey, stepping into the unknown with trust, wonder, and the willingness to take risks. This is the part of the elder that remains open to new experiences, unafraid of making mistakes, because they know that every step, even the missteps, are part of the dance of life. The hermit, on the other hand, symbolizes introspection, solitude, and the quest for inner truth. This is the aspect of the elder that withdraws from the noise of the world to seek clarity and wisdom within, becoming a guide for others who are on their own journeys. Eldership is a path that spans lifetimes, though from a higher perspective, it exists outside of time altogether. It's a process of growth, maturation, and ripening that continues across many incarnations until the soul reaches a point where it is ready to blossom into something more than just human. But let's not take ourselves too seriously here. It's a bit like beating a video game and then being offered a New Game Plus option. In this version of the game, you get to start over with all the skills, experience, and gear you accumulated before. But now you're playing at a different level. Human Plus, if you will. You're still human, but there's something more, something extra that you've unlocked along the way. This doesn't mean an elder looks down on humanity or considers themselves superior. Quite the opposite. They know that the journey through humanity is something all souls undertake. It's a crucial stage in the soul's evolution, and elders have simply reached a point where they've integrated those lessons so deeply that they can now start the game again with a different set of rules. When a personality is deemed fit by the one self as a suitable vehicle for this advanced journey, this decision is indeed made before birth. But here's the kicker. The personality itself doesn't get the memo until much later. It's always a surprise, and the trials and challenges that the personality faces are, unbeknownst to it, preparing it for this initiation into eldership. This blossoming is something that began before the present incarnation, but it must be reignited in each new life. If we have to talk about it in linear terms, we could say that each initiated personality carries the torch further than the last, building upon the work of previous incarnations until a tipping point is reached. At this point, a personality emerges that proves its merit, and that's when things really kick off. This personality gets blasted wide open and steps consciously into the role of eldership or adepthood. But even then, the process isn't over. Eldership isn't a one-time event. It's a journey that continues to evolve over many lifetimes. It's a path that is both eternally fulfilled and forever expanding, always moving towards greater understanding and integration. From the soul's perspective, this journey is nonlinear and fluid. But for us, it's easier to conceptualize it in linear terms. Just remember that this is more of a conceptual map than a true reflection of the territory. The real experience is far more dynamic, with each moment being a new step in the journey, and every incarnation a fresh opportunity to explore what it means to be both human and something beyond human at the same time. An elder embodies a unique duality, holding within themselves the paradox of being both fluid and fixed, ancient and youthful, deeply wise and yet full of childlike wonder. This dual nature is not merely a balancing act, but an integration where seemingly opposite qualities coexist and enhance each other. Elders are walking contradictions in the best possible way. They are rooted in a timeless wisdom that gives them a certain unchanging presence, yet they are also incredibly adaptable, able to shift and evolve as circumstances demand. This adaptability is not just a trait, it's an essential part of who they are, making them akin to shapeshifters. Their identity, while having elements that remain consistent, is also subject to dynamic changes. They can move between different roles and personas, adjusting their approach depending on what the situation requires. This fluidity doesn't mean they lack a core sense of self. On the contrary, it's precisely because they are so anchored in their deeper essence that they can afford to be so flexible on the surface. An elder might display a persona that is light and playful one moment, and then shift into a deeply contemplative and serious mode the next. This dynamic nature allows them to engage with the world in a way that is both authentic and responsive, making them incredibly effective in whatever they choose to undertake. This ability to embody both fixed and fluid states means that an elder can be simultaneously approachable and mysterious. There are aspects of them that are immediately recognizable and familiar, yet there are depths that remain elusive, constantly shifting, just out of reach. This makes them endlessly fascinating to those around them, as they can never be fully known or pinned down. The duality they live with extends to their understanding of life itself. They grasp that life is not just about finding balance between opposites, but embracing both simultaneously. They understand that wisdom is not about being static or rigid, but about knowing when to be firm and when to be flexible. This understanding allows them to navigate the complexities of existence with a grace that comes from their ability to embody these seemingly contradictory states. Their dynamism is a testament to their ongoing growth. Even though they may carry the accumulated wisdom of many lifetimes, they are always open to new experiences, ready to learn and evolve. They don't cling to a single identity or way of being, recognizing that the only constant is change itself. This makes them not just survivors, but thrivers, able to move through the challenges of life with an ease that comes from their profound adaptability. In many ways, elders are like mirrors, reflecting the world around them while also holding within themselves a deep inner landscape that is constantly in motion. They can be many things at once: wise and foolish, serious and playful, fixed and fluid, each aspect enhancing the other. Their ability to embrace this duality is what makes them so effective and so enigmatic. It's also what allows them to remain ever young at heart, even as they carry the weight of timeless wisdom. This shape-shifting ability, this dance between fluidity and stability, is at the core of what it means to be an elder. They are never just one thing, but always many things at once, shifting between roles and identities as needed, yet always staying true to their deeper essence. This is what makes them both a force of nature and a mystery, something that can be sensed but never fully grasped, always evolving, always adapting, yet always undeniably themselves. The experience of extremes, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual, often serves as a crucible for transformation. Elders, in their journey, are no strangers to this. They've walked paths that have taken them from one extreme to another, embodying the full spectrum of human experience. These journeys, which often involve profound challenges and trials, shape their ability to adapt, shift identities, and embrace the fluidity of existence. An elder's ability to shift identities is akin to a chameleon changing colors to blend into different environments. This isn't about deception, but about survival, adaptation, and the capacity to meet the moment with the right face, the right role. Like Arya Stark from Game of Thrones, who becomes a faceless person, able to take on any identity needed for the situation, an elder has learned to wear many hats. They can be anyone and no one at the same time, embodying a range of personas that serve the circumstances they face. This fluidity of identity comes from having experienced the full swing of life's pendulum. Elders have known the extreme highs, moments of incredible power, insight, and connection to the divine. They have also been plunged into the deepest lows, experiencing suffering that most cannot even fathom. These extremes shape their perspective, allowing them to see the world with a kind of neutrality that comes from having lived both sides. They don't cling to one identity or state of being because they know from experience that everything is subject to change. The process of swinging between extremes, whether it's the physical transformation from one body type to another, or the psychological shift from one state of mind to its opposite, results in a kind of ambivalence. Elders understand that neither extreme defines them. Rather, they encompass the entirety of the spectrum. This understanding places them in a unique position where they can navigate life with a level of neutrality and balance that others might find difficult to achieve. They have seen and lived through it all, so they are not easily swayed by temporary states of being. This balance between extremes grants elders a remarkable adaptability. They can move fluidly between different roles and identities because they are not attached to any one version of themselves. They know that the identity they present at any given moment is just a mask, a tool for engaging with the world. This does not mean they lack a core self. Instead, it means their core self is so deeply integrated with the whole of existence that it can express itself in countless forms. The experience of such extremes also brings a deeper understanding of the nature of power. Power, in this context, is not about dominance or control, but about the capacity to hold and integrate the vast range of human experiences. The greater the swing of the pendulum in an elder's life, the more expansive their ability to understand, empathize, and engage with the world. They've touched the heights and the depths, and this breadth of experience gives them a profound understanding of life's dualities. This ambivalence, born of extremes, doesn't make elders indifferent. It makes them wise. They know that life is not a series of isolated incidents, but a continuum where every experience, every identity, and every extreme contributes to a larger tapestry. They don't cling to the highs or despair in the lows because they know that both are necessary, both are valuable, and both are temporary. In the end, an elder's ability to shift identities, to be fluid yet deeply rooted, comes from this intimate knowledge of life's extremes. They have learned to move with the tides of life, adapting and transforming as needed, all while holding within them the wisdom that comes from having lived through both the unimaginable lows and the incredible highs. This journey through extremes doesn't define them, but it shapes them, giving them the capacity to embrace life in all its forms and to guide others with a deep understanding of what it means to be truly alive. Elders possess a remarkable ability to tap into the Akashic Records, that vast, ethereal repository of knowledge and experience accumulated over countless lifetimes. This connection allows them to access a treasure trove of identities, personas, and roles, much like the Fool in the tarot carries a knapsack filled with the tools and memories of past and even future incarnations. The bag at the end of the Fool's stick isn't just a symbol of innocence and potential. It represents the entirety of the soul's journey, with all its collected wisdom, traits, and skills. When an elder needs to adapt to a new situation, they can reach into this metaphorical knapsack or suitcase and pull out whatever identity is required, drawing upon the rich experiences from other lives, whether they be from what we perceive as the past or future. Time, being fluid and nonlinear, means that these aspects are always accessible, ready to be embodied when needed. In this way, an elder is like a seasoned player returning to a new game plus in a video game, equipped with all the knowledge, skills, and tools accumulated from previous gameplays. They can assume any role, take on any persona, and even manifest qualities that they may not have fully developed in their current life, making them infinitely adaptable and capable of navigating the complexities of existence with a deep and dynamic range of expression.